Hey friends, welcome to my page DIY Crafts with Dar. Happy Wednesday. And I need to get these things changed out behind, well, this side. Oh my goodness. At least I can move this, right? The Valentine's truck. Be gone, Valentine's. Okay, this one could be year round, sweet as can be. I need to get my wall behind me decorated. Oh my goodness. How is everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope you are doing well. I am getting so much stuff done for my craft show. Some of the things I'm working on are these little moose Easter standers. Okay, so they're little moose and they have Easter bunny ears on, and they are just super cute. So we're going to go ahead and make those today. These are going to come in a set of 3. I decided, you know what? I'm going to sell them in a set of 3. It's kind of hard to break them up because on the sheet of wood, when I cut them out, all 3 of them cut. So I'm going to sell them as a set for 3. And it's $19.75 and then plus shipping, of course. So anyways, guys, how are you? Happy Wednesday. We are making it through our week. Let me show you these guys. They are just so darn cute. I can't wait. I have some that are half painted. So I struggled to get things done yesterday. I had lots of my other work to do. So I didn't get everything done that I wanted to get done, but I did get some more of the what do I want to say? The egg box. Yeah, those. The egg boxes. Egg cartons. There we go. That's the word. I'm like, what is the word? Egg cartons done. I got 8 more egg cartons done. So my goal was to get 4 done each day, and the day before I didn't get any done, and so I had to make up for that. Anyways, I'm gonna have a whole table of just those at my next craft show. That's my goal. So anyways, and I did buy some Easter candy to take pictures and show them what they can do. I am not going to stuff them with candy at my craft show because you know, if they don't all sell, then that candy is stuck inside of them for the next year, and I don't want to do that. Plus, you know what? Some people, they may not like the candy that I choose. So I'm just going to put a little tag on it that says, fill with your favorite sweet treat, or your favorite treat for someone sweet. Something like that. Something like that. So I think my camera must be crooked, guys. Let me see if I can fix it. There we go. How is everybody? Happy Wednesday. Let me put myself in the corner. These are the little cutie pies we're going to paint. Aren't they so sweet? I just love the moose. They are adorable. Let me go to my comments here, and I'm going to share to VIP group. So let me turn my volume down. It rained most of yesterday. Yeah, rain, go away. Dogs didn't even get to go for their walk. It was so rainy. And so poor puppies. They really look forward to their walks. So hopefully today. It just was way too wet. Okay, let me see here. Hey Laura, good morning. Hi Betty. Hi Denise. Happy hump day. Hey Tony. Hi Billy. Good morning. Hi Pam. Hi Vicky. Thanks for sprinkling, Pam. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Cheryl. You got your egg cartons yesterday. I was struggling for that word. Egg cartons. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, aren't they're going to be so much fun when we get all of them done. I think I picked the wrong color. Let me look and see. I think I wanted more of a turquoisey color for this. Let me look. Because I wanted to match the one I'm making in the other room. Let me see if I have the same color. I have 6 of them going on my paint table in the other room. Let's go with Calypso Blue instead of this one. Okay, so colors here. We have black and white. We have dragon fruit. We have Calypso Blue. Lavender, cotton candy. I just grabbed a green. This one is called New Leaf. But any of your greens will work for the grass part down there. And then milk chocolate for the base. We're going to water that down. And then the mousse itself is going to be sable brown and khaki tan. If you don't have khaki tan or sable brown, you can use milk chocolate and then whatever light tannish color you have. It's hard because not everybody is going to be able to get the khaki tan. So, and then his hooves are, his hooves are going to be black. Okay. All right. Good morning, Lynn. Hi, Stephanie. You're on a loss on how to do them, but they're so cute. Oh, the egg. Yeah. Okay, Maria. Yeah, I'll get to the message after this. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Hi, Darlene Barr. Hi, Chris. Hi, Carrie. The egg cartons. Let's do the egg cartons tomorrow. So I'll do egg cartons on here tomorrow. I used a bunch of different things for them. So I have a lot of different transfers from last year that I pulled out. Some of my size C transfers that I was able to use. So what I did on the egg cartons was I did wax them. So I waxed them first because that paper will start to break down when it gets wet. So it's biodegradable. It's meant to break down. So you don't want it to break down. However, I did just paint some. I forgot to wax some yesterday and I just painted them and they seem fine. So I'm just letting you know what I was told by Miss Brenda Durant is the trendsetter on this. She is the one that showed all of the egg cartons and how cute they turned out. And I just went through my transfers that were small, like any size A transfer will fit on the 12 packs. And then you paint the background. Let me just get this smaller. Hello. Go smaller, Darlene. Let me see if my picture of the okay, so let me see my egg cartons again so I can show you what I did. Okay, so here's what I did. So I painted the background. I took one of the scruffy brushes and I painted the background with light buttermilk because I wanted my bunny to be whitish color. And then I did the etched bunny on that. And then I don't really like the chocolate bunny. I kind of worked it over again. So I used my little scruffy brush, you know, those ones that we use, these ones right. I'll show you in a second. So anyways, those are my ones that I had done already. I did 8 more last night. I did not take pictures of it. But here's some other ideas for smaller ones. These use the size, the minis. Okay, so the egg cartons are from Amazon. So aren't they just so cute? And then I had the shredded paper. I had shredded paper already. So I had the brown shredded paper. I'll give you guys the link again so you guys can do it. We'll do the egg cartons tomorrow. I'll pick out some of the transfers. I don't want to copy exactly what Brenda did. But she did, hers are so cute. So I did love the etched bunny that she did. And then I am going to do a bunch of the ones with the size, the minis size, because those are easy. And then I'm going to sell them without the candy in them. Let me give you the link for the 12 pack. And from there, you can just pick any other sizes that you need. I just got more of the 12 pack last night because I think those are going to be the most popular. I'm going to sell mine for $9.95. Now you might be able to get a better price. Okay, these come with how many? Oh, that's not the right ones. Where are they? Hello. Let me find the ones that have the 12 pack. Okay, so the 12 pack, I mean, it has 12 eggs, and it has 25 in it, and it's $29. So it's $1 something a piece. That's not that expensive, really. So let me give you the link for those, okay? And then from there, you can just search on Amazon and find them. And so they're just the blank ones. They're just blank. Let me give you that link so you have it. All right, there you go. Okay, will you do the etched bunny? You're curious how to do that. Okay. Am I frozen? I'm not frozen. There's my hand. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started on this. I can do the Etch Bunny. It's 2 layers, of course, and you wax in between. I would not do it without waxing in between because I did have issues on one that I didn't wax, and that was not a good thing. So you definitely have to wax in between. I went to Brenda's video. She actually has a video, a tutorial. So if you are on any of the pages, any of her pages, that was really helpful. Okay, I'm just going to take apart my mousse and try to keep his pieces together over here. And let's see here, that and that. I'm taking apart anything that's the Easter egg ones. We're going to paint those separately. I'll bring in a little board and we'll paint those separate. This just gets painted at the bottom. So we're just dissecting. We're dissecting all these. This has a lot. So, and this little white basket is going to be so cute. Here's grass. Maybe we'll put all the grass at the bottom. That's part of the basket. I'm trying to keep everything that goes together with the same thing together. Does that make sense? So, this is I don't know which one this goes with. Oh, that must go with that one. Sometimes the little hooves are jumping off and trying to go with the other one. Okay, so we'll paint this separate because it has the Easter eggs. We're going to do the, what do we do? It's not blended. Shaded, maybe. Is that the word? Okay. All right, so let's get all this here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's do the Easter eggs first. That's the hard part, guys. Let me bring in just a plain board to show you how to do those. And then, okay, so the egg part is the hardest part. You're good on your end. Okay, so yeah, it seems like I'm good on my end too. All right, so the Easter eggs are the hardest part to shade. Okay, so we're going to bring in our colors and do that first. But I brushed my paint on the egg cartons with one of these scruffy brushes and just made it look a little rustic. So it's not completely solid. And I pulled out some of my transfers, my Easter transfers from last night. The size C ones that have 6 on them. That anything Eastery. Okay, so I pulled out that stuff. All right. Hi, Janine. How are you? You know, the internet, we never know. Our internet over here goes in and out throughout the day. It is not fun. It is not a fun thing. I hope I have some water. Hope I have a little bit of water. Okay, so my colors are lavender, calypso blue, and dragon fruit. I don't need very much. It's not going to take a lot to do these. Okay, and I'm going to water them down. And then I'm going to blend them together. And there's a lump in my... Let's take it over here. There's a lump in my dragon fruit. That sounds funny. Okay, that's probably about how much I need because there's not a lot. When I was doing, I was doing 6 of each last night, so it was more. You know what? I have a tiny bit of water in my bottle. If I start coughing, I'll have to go grab more. I have like teeny tiny bit left in my water bottle. Let's put that in there. So I want to water these down a little bit. We're going to do a wash. And we're going to blend it, okay? So, put that somewhere where it doesn't jump off. How was your day, guys? Okay, so I need more of that, the blue one. And I need to shake it because I can see that it has the oil or water or whatever it is. It's just busy for me. We are doing a transition with our QuickBooks on Friday, so I have to get everything done. We're moving to online with the QuickBooks, which will be great because then if I'm somewhere else, something happens, I have to go up and spend time with my dad, then I will be able to do my work from there. So it actually is a good thing. Okay, I'm gonna stir these up, and so you want it watered down. We're going to do a wash on here. I'm going to blend it together with this, okay? So I might have to grab a, it's good to do it on this thing here. Let me try to go in a little bit closer for you guys. There you go. All right, and then let's get this, just getting it blended together. I watered it down. It's not going to take a lot, okay? So you're going to have leftover. Trying not to make a mess. I got paper towel over here for right here for my paintbrushes for later. And okay, got extra paper towels. All right, got it. Okay. Yeah, so crazy life. And there we go. Okay, so let's start with the big one. Okay, let's move these. Let's start with the big one. The biggie. Okay, the biggie's going to be all 3 colors. Okay, so I'm going to take some of each color and I'm going to get it on here. Okay, and you do want to kind of work fast because you want to be able to blend this together while it's still wet. Okay, so I'm putting a wash of the color on there, and then my next color is the purple. I'm going to grab my purple. Oh my gosh, I just splattered it all over. Okay, got my purple, and then I'm going to put my turquoise at the bottom, and then I'm going to start to blend. My turquoise is going to go all the way to the bottom, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to take my brush, and I'm just going to start going back and forth, and I do go all the way to the bottom like that, and I just go back and forth and blend it, okay, just like that. Get that corner up there. And that's how I blend it, okay? So I was doing all 6 of them like that. It's actually fairly easy, okay? So that one's done, okay? So that's how it is, just like that. Super cute. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Now we'll do all the others. So let's see. This one is, what color is this one? Pink, and I'm looking at my cheat sheet. Pink and purple. Okay, so, and you just have to work quickly. That's all. It's easier if you use big brushes. I didn't have big brushes in here at the moment. Pink and purple. Okay. I think that's the color it's supposed to be. So this one is just 2 colors. Okay. So pink and purple. And then I'm just going to use the same brush. I don't care that it has other colors in it. I'm just going to grab it and start blending. And however it turns out is how it turns out. You want it to be see-through. When it dries, you'll be able to see all of the lines. Like this one's drying, and you're starting to see all of the lines on there. Okay, and now we got to do this. So this one's going to be exactly like that one, and then this other side's going to be blue and purple. Okay, so we're going to do our pink at the top, and then we have to paint our little. We'll put this onto the board. Okay, so once we're done with these, we'll put it on the board because we do have to paint this mousse. Okay, so this and purple. And then we're just going to blend it together. This is how I do it. There's many ways to do it, but it's just kind of a haphazard way that I like to blend it. It just works for me. It works. So whenever I find something that works, then I stick with it. Okay, so this one's going to be purple and blue. It actually could be any color that you want. So you could choose yellow. You could choose any colors. Any colors. You can do all 3 colors. Whatever you want to do. Totally up to you. Okay, and then I'm going to blend those. And I'm just using that same brush. Okay, so those are done. They are done. They're ready to go onto the other board. I'm going to move all of these over to my paintbrush. Going to move all of this. I don't need any of this anymore. Going to stack all those. Those are gone. And then these are going to go over here onto this board. Okay, so that's how I do the blended stuff. I think I've shown it maybe once before. Okay, this needs to go somewhere. So this one goes with, it goes with the basket. So let me try to get it closer to the basket somewhere. Okay, we'll move the ears. Maybe we'll do this. Move his ears down. Let's move this over. This one goes with this one. This one actually goes over here, but I don't think there's room over there. So we're just going to put it in the corner, and I'm going to go smaller so you can see everything on the board now. We're going to scooch this up. All right. Good morning, Lori. How are you? Hi, Karen Ross. We are painting mousse. Okay, let's just start at the top and work down. So we need to have a watered down color for the base. I like to use either milk chocolate or burnt umber. I'm going to use my milk chocolate. Going to water that one down. We are going to water the white down too. So there's quite a few watered down colors on here. And it's not going to take a lot. That might be enough. Let me add a little bit more water. Okay, and then, yeah, that's probably enough for all of them. And I'm just going to paint them. That's for the stands. Okay, and then I kind of want to paint all of my mousse and get those done, get the base coat on those. So I'm using sable brown on these ones. If you want to use similar colors to what you've used previously, go ahead and do that. So I'm going to use sable brown for all of my little moussies. I got to paint the bottom of this. So on this one, things are going to be stacked on top of it. The only thing that you paint is this bottom half. Okay, so I know what needs to be painted and what doesn't. Like this one, I'm painting the whole thing, and there's going to be ears on there. I don't need to paint the whole thing. So let's see where we're going now. We're going to go to this little guy up here, and we're going to carefully paint. So his chest area is really the only area that at the bottom, and then his face with his ears, not the top ears. The top ears are the bunny ears, so you don't have to paint that. Okay, and then this little face right here, and we will do pink on the ears, like the bottom part of his ears have a little bit of pink, and then this little body right down here, we're going to do the body part. So you have to think of the layers. What layers are going to go on there? Okay, so like his face is going to be layered and all of that. Okay, so we can still use this for other things. I just don't have palette dishes. I got to go to Dollar Tree and get me some or something. I don't know, something. I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's do our white. So we need to water down white to do the basket. We want it to be a wash, to be see-through, and then we'll get some more white and we'll do the ears. Actually, we should just do the ears first. We'll use the same thing. And then we'll water it down. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do the little bunny ears. So he's going to have bunny ears on. These are Easter mousse, and they're so darn cute. So I have 6 of each of them, probably 2/3 of the way painted. And I just got tired. So I'm trying to listen to my body. When my body's telling me, you're tired, you need to take a rest, then I do it. Okay, so I do want to do the second coat of the white before I water this down. So let's go ahead and let's dry what we have so far, the ears. Let's dry the ears. All right, I will be doing second coats on the mousse faces because it's a little bit sheer on that, so maybe we can dry that too at the same time. I find when I'm making things that I try to assembly line them when I'm doing things for the craft show. I'll do like 6 at a time. I missed the top of the ear on that. I missed the top of his ear. All right, will you post a link to these? Yes, yeah, let me post the link in just a moment. Thank you so much for asking. These are so cute. So it's $19.75 for all 3. That's actually a good price. They're gonna be so cute. I can't wait. Can't wait for them to be done. Okay, so there's that. Let me get you the link for these. It's funny because on my phone it's way behind. On my phone I'm still painting the Easter eggs. That's so funny. Yeah, sometimes my phone lags. All right, let me get you these. It's in the Easter section of the website. Now, if you ever have problems with the website, just send me a message. Somebody had a problem yesterday. That kept telling them that their address we didn't ship to, and so she ended up deleting everything out of her cart and then putting it back in. And it wasn't a big order. So big orders, it does that all the time. But this was something new. This was just out of the blue late last night. And then she added them back in and it worked. So sometimes just doing that, it seems to work for it. Yeah, the website is really tricky. It doesn't like great big orders. So there are some people that do big orders because maybe they get together with friends or they do shows and want to take the things to shows. So it generally won't do an order. It won't approve an order that is much more than $200. So you have to break it down into a couple orders and then we'll ship together. We'll reimburse you for the excess. But yeah, that's just the way it is, unfortunately. Okay, so now we need to water this down. We're going to water it down a lot for the basket. I'm going to put it over here so it's not spraying everywhere. This is my Shopify website I'm talking about. Sometimes it has its little quirks. But just send me a message. I'm always happy to help you. I can always send you a special link. If I can see your cart, what's in your cart, I can usually do that. We figure it out somehow. Okay, so I'm just stirring this. I want it to be really see-through. I want to be able to see the grain on this. So I'm going to go, all I have to do on here, everything's layered except the basket. The basket is the back part, and that's the only part you paint. So everything else, there are layers on top. So go ahead and just paint it. You can paint right over that mousse and the eggs if you want to. Try to get it so it's smooth, and then this is part of the basket also. So, okay, next. Next. All right. Okay, so let's just keep going. Let's do the inside of the ears. Those are pink. They're going to be cotton candy. All right, so let's get a little tiny thing for cotton candy. Cotton candy's pink. All right, and I don't need a lot, so just a little bit. I might need 2 coats, but I think this will be plenty. So inside of the ears. And this one's going to be so cute. I can't wait. Cannot wait. Okay, maybe I should do the second coat on my mousse, just to get those done, because I need to do right where the ears are. I need to do, there's pink right where the ears are, and I need to do the eyeballs. So, and actually, he doesn't have cheekies, so it's kind of funny. This one doesn't have cheeks. All right, there's that. That can be dry now. Okay, let's do the muzzles. So the muzzle, I did water it down because I wanted to be able to see through, khaki tan. So I'm going to just put some over here in the corner and water that down just a little bit. So there's only 3 muzzles. When I was doing it last night, there was 3 times 6. So there's a lot. Okay, so I want it to be see-through. I've watered that down. Just going to swipe it on and it's going to dry. You'll be able to see the nose and the mouth. I'm just giving it 1 coat. Okay. And then let's do, the antlers are the same color. Okay, so antlers are the same color. Let's do all of the antlers. Let's see, these ones up here, we have to do, those ones show, and then these right here. Oh, and the sign is white. So let me grab my white that was transparent, and I'm going to turn this around. It's easier for me to paint it like this. I'm going to do the base of the sign. The base of the sign is white, and then I'm just going to go across like this. So I don't want to fill in the letters if I can at all avoid that. Happy Easter. If I have to go over it, I will, but I don't want to. Okay, black. So we need black for our hooves, and then we need green. Okay, so I probably can just put some black out there on this. And then I think that's it. I think we get to start shading, or I'm sorry, yeah, shading, inking. There we go. Oh, Darlene, what are your words? Sometimes. And I use a lot of paintbrushes, guys, always. So this gets to just be painted black completely. That's his speedies. And then these are his hand hoofs. Okay, does that make sense? I know he doesn't have hands, but he's got the ones where he's holding holding onto stuff, and then these are at the bottom. So there's only one that you have to do the bottom hoofs. Okay, then our green, we need some green for our grass. And okay, good, you can see everything. I'm looking at the thing, making sure you can see everything. Okay, then I have to do the pink on the ears and the eyeballs. So I do have to do that. That will be next. Okay, so I will need more pink. I'll probably dry that and put a second coat on the ears, and then I'll do, like, there's like a little part of the ear that has the pink in it on each of those, so I'll need to dry everything. Here's our green. You can use multiple colors of green. I generally just use one color, do it all one. Sometimes I have to put two coats. This green is New Leaf. Okay, so New Leaf, it is pretty solid. So I may not have to put a second coat of it, but let's just scooch that up just a second. Let's dry everything. Let's see what we're looking like. It's looking good, guys. Super duper cute. Can't wait for it to all be done so I can see it put together. I was sad. I just had to go to bed last night. I was so tired. Sometimes I can't stay up. Sometimes, you know, I gotta listen to my body, right, guys? Sometimes you just gotta listen to it when it's telling you need some extra sleep. You know, I'm just under a lot of stress at the moment, trying to get everything, crunch time to get everything done. I have deadlines, and then my next audit came up. So they're just standard audits that we have every year. But yeah, it's paperwork that I have to gather. Okay, I missed part of that. Okay, so let me do this. Let's do second coats on the ears. There's enough in here. And then I am going to have to pull the faces off to do the eyeballs and do by the ears. So let's dry this one more time. Because I'm gonna bring in that board again. So I want this to be all the way dry. My white is not dry on this. Come on. I can see a shiny. Alright. Okay. This is so darn cute, guys. I love it. So much fun. When I saw it, it's like, do I do the moose? Do I not do the moose? I'm like, I have to do the moose. I just think it's just so darn cute. Okay, I don't need a second coat of green. Yay, that was a good green. It's actually grass green. Okay, I'll need some pink for the ears, and then I'll need some black for eyeballs. So I'm just going to put it here on this little, oops. Hello, come back. I'm going to put it here on this little dish. Let's do that so I can do my eyeballs. Okay. All right. So what I want to do is I want to pull these off so I can actually handle them easily. I'm going to bring in that board again. Do I have a smaller board? Well, here's one over here that's a little bit smaller. Okay. So I want to do the ears. I'm going to grab a tiny brush. I do have a small brush that I can do the ears with. Okay. So I have my pink. And on the bottom of the ears, it is scored. So I know where to do it. And it's easier if you have these off of your sticky board and you can turn them. Okay, so like this one, it's easier for me to do it like this, from upside down. Okay, so there's the pink on those. And then we'll do the eyeballs second. So yep, I'm just using a teeny tiny brush, kind of like one that we painted with when we did Snoopy ornaments yesterday. One of those small angle brushes. And getting that pink on there. We'll do the eyeballs, and then we'll start inking everything. And glue these little cutie pies together. So I had to go outside this morning to check and see if my husband put the trash out. I didn't hear him do that last night for some reason. Usually I'll hear him rolling them out, but man, I was just so busy. I was so focused on getting those egg carton things done And then my candy cane that I can take pictures so I can show people what it's going to look like with candy in it. Uh-oh. My brush just fell. Hang on a second. I do want to find that brush. It was a really good brush. It fell behind. Hold tight for a second, guys. Where did it go? There it is. It fell behind my little table here. Okay, got it. I rescued it. Now I need a stylus for the eyeballs. Okay, so gonna grab a stylus. Stylus, you can just get these from Dollar Tree or from, you can get them on Amazon, but Dollar Tree has them. Michaels has them. Trying to make them look the same. My eyeballs usually don't end up looking the same when I have to do like a oval instead of just doing a dot. When I have to do an oval, you see what I'm doing? I'm just kind of going in a circle with it, making it bigger, and then sometimes I have to go back to the first one, make it a little bit bigger. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. All right. Okay. So sit back down. my chair had turned. Hello. I have all this paper towel over here. I don't know what I used that for. Oh, probably when I was speckling something. Probably. Okay. All right, let's dry this and then we can start inking everything. Hi, Barb. How are you? You didn't get ink with your club. What's the best way to get a hold of Chalkateur? So go on. They're going to have you fill out a form. But the best way is to do the chat with them. But I do have a form I can send you. When you do the chat, they're just going to send you the link, the form. So I can send you the form. If you just send me a message to remind me, and I can send you the form. I'm sorry you didn't get the ink. It might be faster for me to send it to you because you know what? Let's do that. Just PM me your address. I have extra of the ink because my husband got the club. So go ahead. I know I have your address, but just send me a private message, and that way I will remember to do it. I'll send you one of my sets because honestly, Chalkateur takes a little while. You want to get it right away. I can just send you one of my sets because for some reason my daughter-in-law I canceled. I swear I canceled. I canceled my club. I canceled. Yeah, I swear I did. My husband actually got 2 this month. I don't know how, but he got 2 of the club. I have no idea how that happens. No idea. He's signed up twice, and I don't see him twice on my list. So he's been getting 2 lately. I don't know. He's a lucky person. So I have extras. Okay, let me go ahead and put this over here. And I want to be careful because the eyes aren't dry all the way through. So I'm going to be careful with that. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Okay, let's figure out where these go. That one, does that one go with that one? Which one has the down ears? Oh, no, the one that has the down ears is over here. You'll be able to tell also because the size. Yep, that one goes there. And then this goes in the center with this. Okay, all right, let's take everything off. Let's kind of assemble everything and we'll ink everything. Let's get these guys off. We'll be gluing these together first. These are the bases. We want to make sure we did everything and that everything is going to look right, that we didn't miss painting something or we painted something the wrong color, because this is when we find it out when we're doing all of this. He does not have, he does not have cheekies. If you want to give him cheekies, you can, but this one does not have cheeks. I'm trying to get there was some paint on the edge. All right. There we go. Just kind of assemble it. This one has the Easter egg in front, so you can't really put it there. It's not going to stay. There's the hooves, and here's the grass. Okay, so this is this one. I'm going to scooch everything up. We're going to take everything off, and then we'll start inking. He's so cute. Move that over. Okay, the basket. So we have our little moosey. We have this goes right here. Okay, we have our bunny ears. We have the insides of our bunny ears. If one doesn't fit on one side, it probably goes on the other. So don't force it. If it doesn't fit, just try it on the other side. There's that. Here's the antlers that go in there. Okay, I'm just kind of loosely fitting it, making sure I have everything. And then the grass. Okay, and then we'll be taking it all back apart and inking it. Okay, here's this little guy. The grass goes on last. There's Easter egg. Here's his hooves. Here's his muzzle and ears, and hands go right here like that, and then grass at the bottom. Okay, so let me take all this off. Let me take the board off. We'll ink everything. We'll get it all glued together. But that's how easy it is. It's just, you know, it's just step by step. And I know everybody says I make it look so easy. Well, it really is. It really is pretty easy. So if you have questions, let me know. We're gonna do the bases first. So I'm gonna take my ink. I like to use this ink. Memento Lux is the name on it, and then Espresso Truffle is the color. Get it from Amazon, and I just ink the edges. So it's kind of like you're just pulling down. And I move my piece. I keep my ink pad in the same place, and I move my piece. See how I'm just kind of rotating it with my other hand. And then we'll glue this together. I did bring in more glue, finally. I knew my glue is getting close to the end. I brought in a whole new bottle because I don't want to run out when I'm doing the project with you guys. Let's scooch all these guys up just a little bit. Okay, and we can go in a little bit closer. Okay, this is the hard part. It's become hard to open because I'm not being good about cleaning it off each time. It's my fault. It's totally my fault. Okay. And that glue doesn't get off your fingers easy like the other glue. When you rub your fingers together, it kind of stays sometimes. Okay, so there's my glue for the bases. And I am going to stand up, and I'm going to make sure, I'm going to kind of wiggle that and make sure that this slot, you can see through it, that I don't have to reverse it, because sometimes they're offset, like the center part isn't completely centered. So sometimes you have to flip that over. Just kind of wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay. And then those I'm setting out of the way. I want those to dry. I don't want anything to bump them, to move it. I need it to stay in the same place. Okay. Let's start with this guy here. We'll just work. Or maybe we should work on this side. Let's start this side first because it needs to stand up. The pups are all doing good. You know, it's funny because the rain, it gets them a little crazy. They go out and they love to play in the rain. So it's not a problem during the day, because when I'm in my shop, they're just out there playing. They get all soaking wet. They come in, they jump up on the couch, and nobody's in there. However, at night, when my husband's sitting on the couch watching TV and they come in and they're dripping wet, he's like, "Get off of me." It's so funny because dogs just don't know. They don't think. Right? They don't think about that at all. They're just like, "Oh, I just love playing in the rain." And then, "Oh, you're home." They're just hilarious. I love them to death. So, yeah. Anyways, I probably need to get out a Q-tip to do part of this. If you want to, you don't have to. You don't have to get all the teeny tiny areas. Don't stress so much over it, guys. Don't stress over getting everything. Sometimes I just kind of highlight the areas that I can get to. And then if I really want to, I'll get out a Q-tip and get the rest. Okay, I should have brought in a spacer. Maybe I have a spacer to put underneath, because the You need to put something under the egg part to hold it up. Oh, there's like a teeny tiny piece. That might even work. Something small like that. Okay, let's glue this one together so it can be drying. I kind of like to do that. Get them going. Oh yes, you're welcome. So Cheryl, yeah, that will be more helpful, and that way I don't have to tell it all on here. Not everybody wants to hear what's going on with Oreo, but it was good news. It was good news that the original person that had the very first person that fostered Oreo is cooperating 100% and has told her story and has told about how the foster told her to lie and say it was a surrender. That's how they got the dog microchipped right away in the rescue's name, because they told the veterinarian it was a surrender, and it wasn't. It was a found dog. So that's how they got around not having to do the 3-day stray hold, because they lied. And the great thing is that the person that was the very first foster has all of that, all those screenshots. You know, not everything's being revealed online because they need to save stuff for court. There's some glue right here. I'm gonna use that for my hooves. Yeah, so not everything, you won't see everything online because some of it, oops, wrong one. They have to not play all their cards. They have to keep some of it private. But I'm really happy that things are moving in that direction. And, you know, they're just finding out more and more about the rescue. Yuppers. More and more and more. Totally being investigated. I would not want to be that rescue. I would not, because when you got hundreds of women that are furious with you, you are not going to win. You are not. Okay, I need to get out a Q-tip. Thank you, guys. Did I say one time that there's a shading tool? There is a shading tool. It's called a blender. I'll bring that in. I'll bring that in so we can use it on Thursday. So no, tomorrow's Thursday. On Friday. Tomorrow we'll be doing the egg cartons. So if you want to tune in for that, we'll do the egg cartons. I know Cheryl would like to know how to do the etched one. I'll show you several of them. I'll probably base coat my projects so that they're done ahead of time for that, so that the base coating part and the waxing ahead of time. Okay, so that needs to sit there so it can start drying. So I wanted to get that one done. Okay, now we need to ink all of these pieces. All right. You know, I last night my hips were hurting me. I was standing so much yesterday. I stood at my table in my back room to do all of my chalking. It was crazy. Sometimes I just feel better standing. And then when I paint, I generally like to sit down to paint, but I was chalking for hours getting more done for my craft show, and it was a lot. My hips were hurting me just because it's not the most, you know, it's concrete back there. And I have the little stander things, you know, the things that you put in the kitchen to stand on so that you, they're the cushiony things. I have those, but still they weren't helping the way they should. I know, isn't that so cute? I love it. I love the little moose. So you can get all 3 of these for $19.75. The entire kit. Yuppers. Okay. Get in there a little bit. Ink that. Okay, and then our basket. This is so cute. Okay, let's glue this one together so it can be drying. All right. I do have my glue gun plugged in. Okay, so I'm just gonna put some glue here where I know that these pieces go. You guys, I made the best thing last night. It's funny, it was kind of a concoction. So it took me back to my days when I used to just create food for my friend, one of my best friends, when I was living in Utah. and I would call it Darlene's Creations. Way back then, it was my creations. And what I did was I cooked hamburger, and then while that was cooking, I cut up onions. I grated. I had 3 different cheeses. I had cheddar slices, and I like Tillamook. I took a little, like it's like the mini banana nut bread pans. But they're the silicone ones. I took those and I put cheese at the bottom. I layered things. So I put cheese and then I sliced up the onions, and I put onions next, and then I put Parmesan cheese. I shredded Parmesan cheese, and then I put the hamburger, and then on top of that I put mozzarella cheese, and then I baked that in the oven. So the hamburger was cooked already. I didn't dare just put raw hamburger in there. There was a ton of grease though. I kept sopping it up with my napkin because there was tons of grease. And then once it cooled, I popped those out and put those onto paper towels to get the grease off more. But it was like, basically it was a high protein meal that was just pure protein of cheese and meat and some onions. It was so good. The only other thing I could think to throw in there might be some sliced tomatoes. That would be good. Or pickles. I was thinking pickles would be really good in there. So, hey Judy, happy Wednesday. How are you? We're making mousse. We're making mousse for our craft show. I have 6 of each of these on my table in the back room. Okay. All right, let's ink all this. But yeah, it was really good. The food, but they were messy. They were messy. It wasn't like you could really serve them for a dinner because they didn't look the best. They looked pretty sloppy, but boy were they good. And once they cooled down and I popped them out of the pan and put them onto the thing, onto paper towels to just let the rest of the grease get off of them. I kept flipping them because I'm like, I can't stand greasy stuff. I don't like butter. I'm that type of a person. I like everything to kind of not be oily. So got all the grease off of it. They were really solid, so you could just pick one up and just eat it. Yeah, it was good. I might have eaten a couple of them because they weren't big. They're like those little teeny tiny mini banana nut muffin pans that are the silicone that everything pops out really easily. Yeah. Anyways, that's what I made last night, guys. I made my food. I don't usually cook a lot. Sometimes I just, a lot of times I'll just have oatmeal for dinner. I'm not big on cooking because food doesn't ever sound good to me. It just, because I can't have that much. So once in a blue moon, I'll cook for myself. Sometimes I'll even just do scrambled eggs. Okay. All right, let's glue this one together. Hi, Sherry. Had to go to LabCorp and have blood work. Oh, gosh. Hope it wasn't too terrible. I hope that it was pain-free for you. I know sometimes you can't even feel it, and you're like, are you done? Did you do it yet? Okay, here's this. Don't put on the antlers because those are already there. We're using those antlers. I'll just put some glue on here for all the other pieces. This is going to be so cute. So these are Easter mousse. Okay, you didn't know that mousses like to celebrate Easter also, did you? I bet you didn't know that. This little mousse does, and that little mousse does, and that little mousse does. They all like to celebrate Easter. All right. Yeah, okay, so like I was saying, tomorrow we will do the egg cartons. I know there's a lot of people that are jumping on the bandwagon and doing them, and I'm one of them. So I know that Brenda doesn't mind. So Brenda Durant is the creator. I don't know, she probably saw it somewhere. You usually see something somewhere, but boy, she brought it to life. I'm telling you, I always say she's a trendsetter. I see a lot of stuff that I like that she does. She is a trendsetter for sure. Okay, gonna glue this on. It doesn't have to sit a minute before I put the base on, but I can be putting on the other bases. Don't want all the, whoops, wrong side. Wrong side, Darlene. Oops. Get down. All right. Yeah, these little guys are just so darn cute. I had to make them. I saw them and I'm like, oh yeah, have to make them. I'm going to make sure everything's lined up again because I kind of tipped his head. I'm going to get a Q-tip. Oh, there's one right there. That one will work. There's a little bit of glue and just going to leave it there. I'll probably have glue at the bottom. Okay, so he's all put together. This one's done. This one probably is solid enough to put the base on. I have my glue gun. Okay, so there's all my bases. Oh, you get to go get your 25 baby chicks today. Oh, how fun. That's so exciting. So you already have some, right? You already have some chickies. Is that right? Okay, I'm only going to do those two first, and then we'll do the hot glue on them. Then we'll come back and do this one. It doesn't take long for that glue to set up, but so that's just going to go in just like that. It just fits right in the slot. And let me just slide that down. There we go. Okay, it wasn't all the way in. Sometimes you have to push. There we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna wait on this one for a second. I'll put the hot glue. We're going to hot glue the back. I like to do this. It's not a requirement, but when I sell at the craft show, I don't want that base coming loose. So I just run a bead of hot glue. I just go over it 3 times. And then it has to cool, of course. That might have been 4. Okay. And then that also you can move it so that it's standing up straight. Sometimes it'll be leaning. And when you put this glue on, it gives you the opportunity to straighten it up and it will stay in place. Okay, so these are all pretty straight. Okay, this one's turn. And then we're going to be done. Yay! And I'll have another set. So I'm going to wipe this. I'm going to have 7 sets of these all done by the end of today. I do have some other things to do. Oh my goodness. These are just so cute, guys. If you want to put a little white highlight in the eye, I didn't do that. I'll probably go back and do that. I usually will do a little white highlight. Okay, I'm going to unplug my glue gun right now so I don't forget, because you know I do that. You know I forget all the time. Okay, and then to get rid of any glue strings, you know what you do, guys? Okay, so you know how there's always little glue strings? Take your heat gun. Take your heat gun and just hit the back of it. And it just shrinks. It shrinks those little glue strings right up. Did you know that? Florists use that all the time. So there we go. Okay, I'm going to put you up to myself so you can see everything. These are so cute. They're just standing in a row. You've been having issues with a hawk lately. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. And Cheryl has 12 adult chickens. How fun. Oh my goodness, 12 adult chickens. Okay, let's go in closer. You don't want to see all this mess. We need to do our Easter one because St. Patty's Day is going to be up soon. So yeah, we got our St. Patrick's Day one here, but St. Patty's Day will be up soon this weekend, right? Let me look and see. It is on Monday. On Monday is St. Patty's Day. All right, what do you think? Which one's your favorite? I love them all. However, the basket is super cute. I think they're all cute. I don't know. I don't know that I have a favorite. So anyways, let me give you the link again. So you have the link for this if you want to purchase. I'm going to give you the link one more time. Here you go. There you go, guys. All right. Thank you. I love the little moosies. Okay, guys. Yeah, and this basket is smaller than our regular basket, and it's not an insert. So people come to my craft show, can I just buy the insert? So I do have an insert like that. Let me just kind of go like Okay, my face will just be small like this. I do have a separate insert that I just haven't cut out, but I can cut it out if you want one to go in your basket. But you do have an Easter one from last year already, right? Okay, I love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic Wednesday. We are halfway through our week. Let's continue to make it a wonderful week. All right, I love you guys. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.